Oh man, it's with great, great sadness that I bring this rock and roll news to you. And really, the only reason that I'm going to bring it to you is my drummer from Odin actually just told me, but the guitar player from, well, actually, Thin Lizzy um, wrote a lot of the songs for Whitesnake, never really got to go out and tour with them. And my connection with him is in Blue Murder. And I only spent 3 days with him, but I was with him every day. I was up at Little Mountain Studio with them. Geffen Records flew me in, and I auditioned for him. And my experience with him was incredible. I remember I wore a purple suit, 3-piece suit there, kind of a rock and roll suit. And when I showed up, he was waiting for me. And first thing he told me to do is take my suit off, put some clothes on. And so I went and changed. And then the next thing I know, I'm just like, I could hear this guitar sound, this incredible guitar sound. And it's just him playing through his Marshalls, just jamming. And he's just unbelievable. Probably one of the greatest guitar players I've ever heard. And I think he's one of my favorite guitar players as far as his playing and his ability. I went and saw him. I saw him play live right in front of my face, so that was enough. But I also saw him in Thin Lizzy. They played, it wasn't Gazzari's anymore, but Scott Gorham played with them. And the one thing about John Sykes, I'm sure people that are going to watch this that know him, is that he didn't need a lead singer in his band. He was just going through the motions. John Clogner sent me up there. Vicky Hamilton set it up. I met John Clogner, went in, played an Odin record, played that right in, I remember putting it on the turntable and turning it on. John Clogner heard that record. It wasn't Don't Take No for an Answer. It was had She Was the One on it. But anyways, that doesn't matter. I don't want to get sidetracked, but my experience with him was I stayed with him in his apartment up there, or hotel, whatever you want to call it, where they were putting him in. We hung out every day. We went to a couple of clubs. He treated me with tons and tons of respect. And I remember being in a nightclub with him, and I went up and I sang the Immigrant Song. I sang the Immigrant Song, and I think I sang, it was Night Prowler by AC/DC. He wanted to see me sing, and this band could pretty much play anything. They were like a cover band that knew all that stuff, so I ended up singing at some club. But the one thing that at that time in my life, I was completely clean and sober, and he wanted to drink and party. And so there was a lot of that. He was doing a lot of that, God bless his soul. And then his tech was with him, and but God bless John Sykes, man. That people have wondered where he's been and why he's disappeared. I think that he was just battling cancer and wasn't letting anybody know. But he is one of the greats of all time. Put on some old that first Whitesnake record. Listen to the Blue Murder record. The Blue Murder record is just absolutely phenomenal. And just wanted to share this story because that is part of my rock and roll history. Meeting someone like that, spending some time with him and Bob Rock, and yeah, that was great. Realistically, the way that it all happened was Carmine. Carmine was at Gazzari's. This was before I went up there. Carmine saw me. I jammed with some people on stage doing probably an Immigrant Song or, AC/DC song or something. And I, put on a little performance. Then Carmine came up to me. Carmine said, "You got to sing for our band. I think you'd be a great singer for the band," which I was just like, sure, whatever. And then Vicky got involved, and Vicky and John Clogner got me involved. The next thing I know, there was a limousine I was actually living at my grandpa's house and locking out. And my grandma had just died, so I was staying with my grandpa. And then I also remember the limo coming and picking me up, and him just telling me, that he was so proud of me, and he knew all the work that I put into my music career at that time. Because I've told you in other stories, he's the one that bought me my first PA system and my microphones and my cables and everything so I could go out and perform and make a buck. But he couldn't believe that here I was getting picked up by a major record company, limousine there to pick me up, take me to the airport, and fly me to Canada to go audition for probably one of the biggest, one big rock star at the time, coming out of Whitesnake. That record sold millions and millions of records. But God bless you, John. I just thought I'd come on, and it's a very sad day. We lost another, rock and roll legend, guitarist, and just a brilliant man in person. And what a heck of a songwriter. God bless you, and R.I.P. Bye.